Hey guys, and welcome to today's video on 3 ways to build a better mind to muscle connection. I've had quite a lot of comments asking me for advice on how to improve this in particular, so here you go. But first, take 2 seconds to subscribe to my YouTube channel, AshMayPT, and also give the video a thumbs up whilst you're at it. So as always, we're going to start off with our definitions. What is a mind-muscle connection? Well, the mind-muscle connection is basically your ability to feel a muscle working. You want to be able to feel the contractions, feel the stretches, and make it do the work during the lift. This is basically the difference between doing a bench press and moving the weight any way you physically can, and doing a bench press and feeling your chest contract and squeeze at the top. They're two completely different things at the end of the day. And why is a mind-muscle connection important, I hear you ask? Well, a better mind-muscle connection allows us to do a few important things. Firstly, you're going to be able to better isolate and therefore better develop your muscles. Bench pressing is only going to develop your chest if you are using your chest during reps. And your back isn't going to develop from doing pull-ups if when you're doing pull-ups you're actually putting all the work into your biceps, but you don't know because you can't feel the muscles. You can't tell if the lat is doing the work or not. If you can feel the muscle, if you've got that connection to the muscle, you can make it do the work. Basically, once you can feel a muscle working, you can increase the quality of every single repetition that muscle does, and that is obviously going to lead to a better outcome from your training. Rather than just curling away dumbbells, going through the motions, throwing them around, every rep should be a controlled squeeze, a slow stretch on the eccentric, feeling it work and mentally connecting to the muscle. All of these things will allow you to place more tension and more volume onto the target muscle, which in turn will lead to more muscle being built. Bonus. It's also a great way of reducing injury risk during your exercises. For example, improving your mind to muscle connection with the chest during a bench press is going to allow you to better take your shoulder out of that movement. And we all know that shoulders are very often injured during a bench press with improper technique. So that's obviously going to help out. And also, when you do have that really strong connection to a muscle, to be honest, you actually need to use less weight because it's doing more of the work and it's going to be weaker when it's doing more of the work. So you're using less weight, which means less risk of injury. Okay, so my first tip for improving the mind to muscle connection that you have is to see the muscle working. Yeah, you can't say I don't give you science, right? Okay, so I know this isn't the most advanced bit of advice ever. It's actually pretty much straight up bro science, but trust me on this, it works. There's a reason that the lats and the back in general is a very difficult and common place for people to struggle to connect to mentally. It's because you can't see the muscle. If you're literally able to see the muscle that you're working, squeeze and stretch and contract, it's much easier to understand what's happening, what's going on, and mentally focus and lock into that area. So some examples of seeing a muscle work to improve the mind-muscle connection would be doing something like a concentration curl when you're bent over like that and staring at your bicep as you're doing the exercise. Cable flies in front of a mirror, watching your chest stretch and contract. Cable lat pullovers next to a mirror so you can tilt your head and see your lat stretching and contracting. So that's great for exercises where it's possible to see the muscle, but I understand there are some where even with mirrors it's physically impossible to see the muscle working, but don't worry, hope is not lost. For those muscle groups, which is usually going to be things like the glutes, the hamstrings and the back, I find touching and feeling the muscle really beneficial. Yeah, touch that ass. But seriously, next time you get on a hamstring curl, if you're somebody that struggles to connect and feel your hamstrings squeezing that weight towards you, next time, just do it with one leg at a time, put a finger or two on either side of your hamstring, and as you move the weight, feel for your hamstring stretching and then contracting, and I guarantee you will get a way stronger and better contraction and connection to that muscle, and that is going to improve the quality of the work that you're doing, and that is going to improve the results that you get. Another example of this would be feeling your lat whilst doing a one-arm cable row and anything else along those lines. Tip number 2 is high reps and slow reps. And to be honest, this is probably the main one that you should be listening to and following if you aren't already. When you've just done or during a 1 rep max squat attempt, are you thinking, wow, my quads are so engaged right now? No, you're thinking, oh my god, I'm about to die, or holy crap, I nearly just died. And then somebody says, yeah, but did you use your quads? Did you feel your quads on that? Say, no, I felt my soul being sucked out of me. I felt everything leave my body. You didn't feel your quads, you just did everything you could to get that movement back up. So yeah, there's not much mind-muscle connection going on there. The same goes for those 20 bench press speed reps that we all do when we're warming up for the bench press. Yeah, there's a lot going on, there's a lot happening, but you can't tell me that in every single one of those 20 reps, you are actually feeling your muscle squeeze and contract every time. No, you don't. So with those two things in mind, low reps and fast reps, we need to reverse those to improve the mind-muscle connection that we have. Rather than low rep ranges, we need to spend some time in those high rep ranges. I'm talking 15 to 30 reps. It's basically cardio, right? Alongside this, pause at the squeeze of every rep. Lower the weight for 3 to 4 seconds on the way down. Feel the damn fibers beneath your skin. I guarantee you that if you've never tried this, you will feel a contraction like crazy, and you'll be blown away by how quickly you develop a better mind-muscle connection with your individual muscles by doing this. Also, the byproduct of doing this is that you will get a crazy, sickening pump. And because you're getting a pump in that target area, you can feel the muscle even more, and that in itself is going to improve the mind-muscle connection. So bonus tip, get a filthy pump. Yeah. Now, obviously, you shouldn't stay in the 15 to 30 rep range doing crazy slow snail reps forever. It's just a phase that you should experiment with and dip in and out of for a few weeks at a time when necessary to really help you build and develop that mind-muscle connection. And number 3, the last tip of the day for improving your mind-muscle connection is pre-activation and or pre-exhaust. This is going to be a bit more advanced than the first two, and it will impact your training a bit more, but it can be amazing. If you really struggle to feel your chest when you're bench pressing, your glutes when you're squatting, etc, 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 this is the one for you. It's for those big compound lifts. Pre-activation is basically when you activate the muscle before a compound lift by doing an isolation lift first. My favourite way of using this, for example, is to do some really easy chest flies, one arm at a time, using a band before going into the bench press. Because you've already developed that connection to what that squeeze feels like in the fly, when you then go to bench press, you're able to connect to that squeeze immediately and it feels great. The same is going to go for anything else. For example, if you don't feel your glutes when you're squatting, before you squat, do something like hip thrusts or those banded crab walks to really engage and activate your glutes. Then when you go and squat, they're going to be activated, ready to fire. You're going to be able to connect to them like that. Give it a go. Pre-exhaust is exactly the same idea as pre-activate. However, instead of doing something very easy, like those easy chest flies I mentioned, this time you would actually do something difficult to your normal level of a set difficulty before. This means that the target muscle is actually already going to be tired and fatigued rather than just activated. Personally, I prefer and I would recommend pre-activation more than pre-exhaust. But, you know, each to their own, give both a try, find which works best for you. And there we have it, guys. 3 ways, plus a bonus tip of a filthy pump, to improve the mind-muscle connection that you have with any given muscle group, whether you can see it in a mirror or not. Whether you're struggling with a muscle imbalance, can't develop a certain muscle group, or you even just aren't getting good pumps from your training, these can definitely help. So give them a go. One at a time, work your way through the list and find the one that works for you. Let me know how you get on with these in the comment section below. And also, as always, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll get right back to you. If you enjoyed this video and you got something useful from it, then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, AshmayPT. Give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, see you later, guys.